Most of the time, you will be having your data like this table format. But from this table data, you can't understand anything. But what you want from a data is a meaningful information, right? When it comes to data science, machine learning, or AI, you need to automate something, right? What I can do with this table data. So for that, first, what I have to do is I need to understand what is going on in between this data. For that, what I have to do is I need to create visualizations. I need to convert this data into chart or graph specifically when I have numerical values to understand what is going on between them. So in this video, we are going to see 7 different charts and their usage. We are going to see what is line chart and when we are going to use that. We are going to see what is bar chart, histogram, scatter plot, box plot, pie chart, and heat map. So after seeing what is it, we are going to see where we need to apply them. So let's get started. This is my data. In this data, I have 5 different columns: day, sales, profit, category, and region. So for this data set, I'm converting this into 7 different charts. The first chart that I'm going to create is line chart. So as per the name suggests, it is a line chart. This is the output of creating a line chart. So this is how generally a line chart will look like. This is specifically what is line chart and why do we need this? Line chart is specifically used whenever I need to convert my numerical values into a chart where my values changes continuously over time. So it specifically preserves the natural order of data and clearly highlights the trends and the patterns. So that is something that I need to understand from this line chart. Most of the time in this chart, the x-axis represents time because this chart is there to understand how my data changes over time continuously. So whenever I want to observe the changes in trends, specifically how it increases, how it decreases, how the seasonality occurs, or how the stability occurs, the go-to chart is obviously the line chart. So you can have a look into this chart, what it is representing. So the goal of this chart is how something changes over time. That is something that you could understand from this chart. So see, in x-axis we have day and y-axis we do have value. So we are comparing the sales and profit values over days. So day wise how it differs. So we are understanding how it works, how it changes over time, a particular numerical value. How my sales is getting increased, how it is getting decreased, how my profit is getting increased, how it is getting decreased in day wise. So this is how the line chart beautifully works. So from this we can clearly understand how my data changes over time. So based on that, whatever I take information from this chart, I can make my business decisions. The next chart that we do have is bar chart. So just look into the chart and tell me what it means. What is the use of this bar chart? It is obviously used for categorizing my data. So for having 3 different products that I'm selling in my sales, I do have 3 product categories. So if I want to find the difference in sales, the go-to chart is obviously a bar chart. So whenever you want to compare quantities between categories, this chart is obviously a go-to chart. So generally the order of categories does not represent time. It is a categories. The x-axis is used for representing the categories here. So specifically whenever I want to compare sales by product category or whenever I want to see the number of users per region, then if I want to see the count of samples per class in a data set, then what chart specifically should I use? It's obviously a bar chart because see, look into this chart. So I do have 3 different categories of my products, A, B, and C. So it is used for comparing the sales of 3 different products, A, B, and C. So what is bar chart? Specifically, when I have categories and I want to figure out as per the categories how changes is happening to my data, then I should use bar chart. Next, I do have histogram. It looks almost similar to bar chart, but what is it? What might be the difference between histogram and bar chart? It looks almost same, right? Histogram is a chart which is used for measuring the distribution of a continuous variable, and it is used in a way it groups values into bins. So these are the bins. Specifically, I have 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60 likewise, right? These are the bins. So in this scenario, what I can do is when I need this chart specifically, if I want to find the salary or income distribution, if I want to see how my profit or loss value is being distributed, if I want to see the feature distribution before applying machine learning. So I need to understand each and every features, how it is being distributed, specifically the numerical values. Then the chart that I need to use is histogram. Next, we have scatter plot. So when you just look into the chart, you might feel like what it is. It feels like in a x and y axis, some colorful dots are somewhere, something that is spotted over there. What is going on between this chart? When I need this chart, first of all, what is scatter plot? This scatter plot is specifically used for finding the relationship between two numerical variables. And it is helpful in identifying the correlation patterns. Whenever I do want to find the relationship between two numerical values or two numerical columns, then I need to use the scatter plot. Specifically, when I want to understand the relationship between sales and profit, how my profit values differ based on sales, then I should use a chart called scatter plot. It might be finding the relationship between how the student's mark is related to how much hard they study. It might be it's more about finding the relationship between features and target variables individually. So if I have four different features and one target column, I need to use this chart, find the relationship between each and every feature and the target column. So that is how this beautifully works. Next. The next chart that we do have is box plot. We have already seen this somewhere, right? Where? It is used for outlier detection. What is outlier? In a data, if I have a numerical column, we do have minimum average and maximum average generally. So in that set of all values, if a particular value is less than a minimum average or it is more than a maximum average, that value something away from the average values, right? That set of all values, then that value is called as outlier. So to detect the outliers in my given data, I'll be using a chart called box plot. Specifically, whenever I need to compare distribution across groups, the go-to chart is obviously the box plot. Okay. So this chart is specifically used for detecting outliers. It might be sometimes when I want to compare salary across departments, or when I do want to check profit distribution by region, even if I want to see the feature comparison across different classes, in that scenario too, I could use this box plot. Pie chart. This is the sixth chart, and this is such an amazing chart, and this is one of the most commonly used charts. So whenever you show this chart to a non-technical person, they could easily understand what is going on in this chart. Even as a child, we can understand this chart, right? This is specifically used for categorizing the data specifically based on percentage. So I have my total numerical data. I have my three different products, sales percentage. I want to figure it out which product contributes more, the percentage of each product sales, then this is definitely a go-to chart. When I need this chart specifically, if you want to see the market share by product in percentage, if I want to see sales contribution by category in percentage, if I want to see user distribution by platform in percentage, then obviously you should use pie chart. And finally, the one chart that we do have is heat map. This is definitely an important chart that you are going to use for seeing the relationship between my features and target variable. So when I have so many numerical columns, I might have one column that I need to predict and all the other columns are called as features. So when I want to see the relationship between every feature in the target column, I'll be plotting this heat map. From this heat map, the value that I get here, right, 0.006, likewise, I'll be getting values for all my features and the target column. Even between the features itself, I'll be getting all the values. So based on these values, I'll be understanding how each column is related to another column, how each features are related to my target column. So this is such an amazing chart to understand my data if it has mostly the numerical values. So this is definitely a go-to chart when you need to take so many insights for my numerical values table. Today we have seen 7 different charts. What are they? A line chart, bar chart, histogram, scatter plot, box plot, pie chart, and heat map. So in the charts that we have seen and the case studies that we have seen, if you have any doubts, without hesitation, drop them in comments. In the upcoming videos, we'll be seeing the coding part for how to create this chart, and we'll be working with real data set to create these charts. So based on real cases, we'll be seeing them how to work with them. So yes, that's all for now. Bye for now. We'll meet you in next amazing video. If you have any doubts, without hesitation, drop them in comments.